It's so hot in here.
It's always hot.
It's so sweaty in here. So, Matty, what would you do if I came in here, like, to record in the summer? Full thong. Full thong, like floss thong, ass hanging out.
You don't have an ass to hang out.
Excuse me, Jen. That wasn't very nice.
But like in a good way. It's like you just have ass. Okay, what's the answer?
What's the answer? Yeah.
I would set the cameras to record.
Okay.
But maybe you'd have to stand for that one.
That would be interesting. I could do a nice side view for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
How would you feel if I came in pasties?
I literally would still set the cameras to record.
What shape should they be? Oh, what shape, Jennifer?
I have ones that I think they're diamonds.
That's good. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yeah, I think I have diamonds, so we could do that.
That works.
Would your wife hate me?
She probably wouldn't see it, nor would she hate you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rhinebeck Scoop. I'm your host, Jennifer C. This radio show is produced by yours truly, Matty Rosenberg, and Jennifer Hammoud at Radio Free Rhinecliff. Okay, today, you guys, we are starting with some white people problems because we always start with Boujee Banter, and we're doing white people problems. Also, I want to say today that it's really hot in the studio, no joke. So if you hear background noise, I'm probably not going to take it out. So just know it's like people coming into the Epicurean. We love the Epicurean and buying all sorts of beer and gifts and fun things. Can we take that off?
Done.
I'm like, what is that? I'm just teasing. Okay, so Matty Rosenberg did an amazing job as a producer. And he gave me an amazing article that I loved reading. And I loved it so much that I signed up for New York Magazine.
Oh,
Look at you.
Yes, I know. Oh my gosh. So the article is called The Super Commuters Moving Downstate by Kim Vesley. Okay, so the summary is during the pandemic, city people bought far north in the Hudson Valley, far from train stations. And now that employers are requiring them to return to the office 3 days a week, some 5 days a week, they're finding themselves in tough positions, especially if they have families with children, all that. Example, one woman with a family bought in Chatham during the pandemic, and then her work returned to in-person meetings and events in the city. She was commuting 3 hours one way daily, which included a 25-minute drive to the nearest train station and then 2 hours on the train. This was a daily 6-hour round trip. Can you guys believe that?
No.
That's insane. She sold this Chatham house and moved to a rental right here in Rhinebeck. She shaved an hour off her commute. So city people, to me, looking at this article, they got really excited for having small town life and they got more bang for their buck and all of that and fell in love with country living, only to realize, fuck, I have to... Matty, are you playing footsie with me? Oh my God, he has literally tried to go under my pants 2 times. Carrie, what the fuck? You got to keep your man in line. Okay, anyway... To only realize, fuck, I have to return to the office. Others interviewed are renting in the city and still keeping their houses. But the new real estate trend is to sell up north and move into a village such as RBK, Red Hook, Kingston, or to be closer to a train. So that was the whole point of the article. It was really, really fascinating. So we have 2 topics here to dissect, and I'd love your opinions. First of all, what do you think of mandating people to return to the office?
I think there's something to be said about some mandatory office work because I think it might be hard to have that that connection when it's always by Zoom. You know, you don't have that for lack of a better word, like that water cooler interaction. Yeah. You can't have, there can't be any incidental kind of interactions, and everything in life is not just scheduled. So, I mean, I'm not saying full-time, but yeah, I really think that's not the worst thing in the world.
Have you worked in an office? Have you worked in corporate?
I have. I've worked in a hospital. I've worked in a school, but I have not done corporate.
So you think for corporate, what do you think would be a fair compromise? Like going to the office 3 days a week, 2 days a week?
I would say, I mean, if somebody who never worked in corporate, I can't imagine why 2 days a week wouldn't be enough. Or 2 to 3 days. I mean, certainly 5 seems a little like overkill.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair, Matty.
Yeah, actually, it's something I've been thinking about for a while, ever since the pandemic, where we saw this sort of supercharged, obviously, Zoom, everyone never heard of before. I think that there's this economist at Stanford, I think Nicholas Bloom is his name, and he's been studying back to work. Actually, I should say he's been studying work at home since the 1960s, going all the way back. And the trend is definitely to work at home more. And in the last study that he did, it showed that if you had partial work at home, you were no less productive at work, and you would also have better retention of your employees. So I think that the sort of golden spot, the best spot to be, is probably 3 days at work, and that being Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, usually, because then you have your Monday and your Friday on either side of the weekend, and that's kind of the gold standard of work at home. I think you agree with Jen that you really want to be able to go to work. Sometimes it's going to be helpful for all sorts of interactions that are necessary. But this immediate urge by the financial sector, people like Jamie Dimon, who have really poo-pooed work at home recently, and some other tech gazillionaires like Jeff Bezos, who have poo-pooed it, are on the wrong side of history.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I flew Jamie Dimon. I remember him. That was a while ago. Interesting. So here is what people on Instagram said. And by the way, does my face look really red?
You look a little warm.
A little
it's
red,
a little warm
but you
in
came
here.
in that way.
I came in that way. I know. So
Well, it's hot today.
I know if people see me on video and I look like a tomato, just know that's why. By the way, we always try to put up the video of the Rhinebeck Scoop. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Technical problems, because you guys, when you're working with audio and video, Matty knows. Sometimes it goes perfectly, and sometimes you think it's gone perfectly, and then it doesn't. And that happens just alone with me as well. So we're going to try to put up this episode on YouTube as well. So everyone go to Radio Free Rhinecliff on YouTube and watch it again. Okay. So listeners responded on Instagram and said, I feel lucky to work remotely. I don't miss the daily 3-hour round-trip commute. Now that I'm a manager, I've noticed that my employees are more productive at home. Number 2, I was a hybrid worker in the 90s. I spent 3 days a week in the office and 2 days working from home. There's real value to being in a room. Some of the most valuable interactions were happenstance, kind of what you said, Jen, as well. But you can get a lot more work done at home. The companies who are requiring it don't trust their employees. Thought that was interesting. Number 3, I own my own business. I commute into the city 2 to 3 days a week. My staff is in the office 4 days a week with 1 day remote because they're more productive that way. Asking your staff to work in the office might not be popular, but I found they're more productive. I found that interesting, and I like that she commented, and I appreciate that. I do think it is interesting that she, as the boss, goes in maybe 2 days a week, 3 days a week. Everyone else has to go in 4. So, I'm not poo-pooing anything on her. I'm just saying that I think it's different if you are the boss and you can choose the days a little more. And then finally, number 4, I moved to Rhinebeck during the pandemic and love small town life. Now that I'm being mandated back to my company's city office 3 days a week, I feel disheartened. I'm worried that I'll be asked to return to 5 days. If that happens, I may retire early and start my own business. I'm sorry, but forcing workers back to the office is robbing them of their work-life balance, especially now that salaries aren't rising.
Also, the technology allows you to work at home. I mean, let's just be realistic. The ability to do what you need to do for many jobs, not every job. Obviously, this doesn't really include anyone who does physical labor. You can't do roofing at home. You can't do plumbing at home. But for those who are basically sitting in front of a computer at work, it seems like it would make sense to give that balance that you just described. It's some kind of petulant, I don't even know what to call it, that these owners of corporations think that you're more productive when none of the studies show that that's true.
Do you think it's because they've paid a lot in office space in the city and they want them to come back because they're paying that rent?
A lot of places are already scaling back. There's been obviously there was a lot of real estate in New York that went empty, business real estate. And now some of the companies that are getting people back, they're still scaling back the size of their locations because if they do any kind of balance and you have people coming in, say, 3 days a week, you can balance it out so that the overlap doesn't happen where you need the amount of space that you needed before. So I don't think it's about space. I think it's some kind of fear that bosses have that when you're not in front of them, you're not accountable and you're playing solitaire on your computer or something.
Yeah. And you're scheduling a lot of things that aren't work related, right? You're taking your kids to
Sure.
Mommy and Me or whatever, these music classes. But I think that's also a part of work-life balance. So I'm just going to give you guys an example from my life is I used to work in publishing back in the day in my 20s. And publishing doesn't pay a lot. It really doesn't. And I remember I was living in Yonkers and I had a job offer in Manhattan. And I was going to be paid so low that it wasn't even worth the commute or anything like that. And I was in my mid-20s or something at that point. And I said, forget it. So I think it depends on the job. I think it depends on what you're getting paid. Like if you go into the city and you're getting paid $800,000 and they're making you return to work, it's like, that's a tough one. So the woman who sold the house in Chatham and now lives in Rhinebeck, her name's Sunny. And if you're listening to this, welcome to Rhinebeck. And you better be listening to the Rhinebeck Scoop on your super commute. And that's for all of you. For me, I mean, I never belonged in an office. I know this is hard to believe, but I'm just not a corporate person. I don't do well with rules. I don't do well with authority. I don't do well with that corporate setting. So I never fit in there. And I would, if it were me, I'd rather take the pay cut and live a happier life with more me time. But that's easier to say not having kids and not having, a family to support and kids to send to college and all of that. So whatever your decision is, I hope you find a work-life balance. And this was a very big journalistic topic for me, and it was really hard.
What do you mean by
I think
that?
I'm more into the fun stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
should I
hard
not send
for me.
you those kinds of things?
Yeah, it's hard. No, it was good, but it's hard for me not to swear. It's hard for me to be serious. This is a really good test for me.
Oh, but you seem to have passed it.
Did I? Did I seem like a real journalist?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay. And then just another quick thing on this story. Do you think people will continue selling your big country home and then moving to a small village like Rhinebeck? Do you think this trend is here to stay, or is there another future trend you foresee?
It all depends on what happens to their 401ks over the next month.
Yeah,
That's true.
I think it's really, actually, I'm like all kidding aside, I think that things are just really unpredictable right now.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard to imagine people being able to plan right now.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yeah. Okay. Matty?
Yeah, I would definitely second Jen's notion. I mean, JP Morgan just predicted a much higher chance of a global massive recession coming, which I think is, given where we are, very, very likely.
Yeah, I think it's likely too. So I don't know. What do you do if you think a recession's coming? I would say keep the job for as long as you can and do what you can, and unfortunately make the commute and make it work somehow. And hopefully it doesn't happen, but we will see. So today we are taking a trip to the future. So strap on your time traveling suit and let's go. But first,
This is Jen Hammoud. You're listening to the Rhinebeck Scoop. If you enjoy this show, tell a friend.
oh my gosh, so good. All right, so now we're getting to the more fun part where we can get raunchy and we can swear and we can be the normal Jennifer. So I'm going to turn on my camera for that. Oh, we can let down our hair. Okay, so we are all supposed to have personal robots soon. What would you want yours to do? And don't say anything sexual yet. Don't downgrade this show. But what would you want yours to do?
I would like a robot butler.
Ooh, what would he do for you?
My robot butler would plan my meals and then go food shopping. And prep my meals, and all I would have to do is just cook them they would do all the prep work. Then the robot would clean everything. Then the robot would do my laundry. I know this is really exciting. Robot. Yeah. And if the robot was smart enough, they could also prepare my taxes.
Oh, wow. That's
from
pretty
my
good.
Accountant. Yeah.
That is an all-functioning robot. Yeah. How about you, Matty?
I remember years ago, Sony came out with the Sony Aibo, which was a dog robot.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
It was pretty primitive compared to what we're talking about now, but it always struck me that I would like a robot pet, like a robot cat. And I'd like it to do what cats do, except that it wouldn't need a litter box. It could recharge
that's interesting.
Itself. So I think I would be intrigued by that.
Would you have a good cat, or would you have a cat like Hester?
Well,
like a naughty cat.
He has a naughty
hisses?
cat now. Not just hiss.
Hester
bites.
is the best cat in the world.
Wait, who does she bite?
My wife. But no,
right,
she bites everybody.
She
bites everybody, actually. But no, she doesn't bite all the time. And no, I would, yes, a Hester cat would be, yes, I think it should definitely be a calico robot.
Okay, a calico robot. These are interesting. So I would have my robot. Well, self-driving cars, right? You brought that up. Self-driving cars, I don't need a robot for.
Right.
But I would have a robot to put on makeup for me because I'm not very good at that. And I would have a robot straighten my hair when my hair needs to be straightened. And it would also have a robot constantly fluff me. Now, I don't mean that sexually. I mean fluff me as in tell me how great I am all the time. Like, you're amazing. You're the most wonderful person on earth. You're beautiful. You're aging so gracefully. I would have a robot do that.
You
constantly.
need to get better girlfriends.
I know. I really do.
You could probably have ChatGPT do that for you.
I know someone who does that, who literally, there was one night, because I'm friends with a couple, and one night they were in bed and she was talking to ChatGPT, getting affirmations, being like, you're so gorgeous, you're so beautiful, you're so this. So people do it. And there was that whole article that came out. Did you see where the girl was paying ChatGPT or something like that, $200 a month for all these sort of compliments and stuff?
Oh, no, just the person who fell in love with an AI boyfriend.
That's happening all the time. Well, the
Is
boys.
it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of bad things going on.
You think that's bad?
No,
Why is that bad? Don't discriminate. We don't discriminate here.
Against robots? Against AI?
Against AI boyfriends.
I think we can discriminate against AI, period, if we want to.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a being.
It's not a being, but it will help us in the future, and it will help us have a much shorter work week.
Is it really helpful if somebody's just telling you everything you want to hear?
I think it is. I've never really had that. Listen, if nothing has come out of this show, you guys know that I am on a constant search for validation, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you guys know that I was not hugged enough as a child. I was not loved enough as a child. So I'm doing it now through this show to try to get validation. And the irony is I get none. So it's not working on this either.
Well, you get no validation from who?
From you guys.
That's
you don't,
not true.
You don't tell me you love me enough. Okay, compared to Andy and compared to the Gen Z bitches?
I think that if you talk to Andy, you would not find that that I'm affirming him all the time.
I'm not really affirming him all the time either.
Okay.
But if you listen, you'll know. Well, actually, we edit it, so you won't know.
Edit a lot of that out. Yes, the outtakes would make you quite happy.
Oh, would they? Okay. Because I feel like for this show, I could have more validation.
All right. We'll have to keep that in mind, Matt. We'll do a better job.
That is a great shirt you have on.
I knew you were going to say that. It is a great shirt I have on. Thank you. But no, I'd like more validation. Come in here and be like, oh my God, you're the best host. We want to fire everyone else. We want to pay you. We'll do anything you want.
I hadn't thought of any of those. But now that you mentioned it.
Thanks for the script.
Yes. Okay. So
could I have just ChatGPT say that to you?
You can, but it has to be in your voice over and over.
I can AI my voice. That's
okay.
No problem.
All right. That's perfect. So now Craig and I talked about the sexual part of having personal robots. And come on, guys, you know I was going to go down this road. How do you feel about, maybe not for yourselves, but for others using them sexually?
It's none of my business. Whatever people do in their bedroom, as long as it's, between a consenting adult and a robot, it has nothing to do with me.
Matty?
Well, it's obvious to me that robot sex is going to be a big thing because pornography drove the internet in many ways, and it will drive the development of personal robots. No doubt about it. Whether it's a good thing, it depends, because we have an epidemic problem of young men, young boys who are not actually functioning in the real world. They're online and they're gaming so much that they don't actually have any relationships with women. And it's causing a lot of problems, as in incels. Now, would a robot woman be good for an incel? I don't know. That would be a curious question.
What's an incel?
Well, it would be less violent.
I mean,
theoretically, it could be less violent.
To your point, though, actually, what they're finding is, because there's many apps where you can create a virtual girlfriend, and what young men are doing now, I'll send you some articles on this, is they're making virtual girlfriends so that they can massively verbally abuse them.
What's an incel?
Really?
Yes.
Disgusting.
I'll let Jen explain what an incel is.
I don't know exactly. I think it's somebody who spends a lot of time gaming, who doesn't have social interaction in general, so who's like kind of like a hermit who. Yeah. But I think there's also more to that personality like archetype. So there's some self-loathing, right? Because they don't know how to interact, so then they take it out in the wrong person. So they hate women.
For me, I like the explanation. Thank you for the explanation. Would I have sex with a robot? I would if it were very safe. Like when those things clamp down, like you want them to not clamp down on certain things. Or you want them to not be spiky in certain places. So like I would be okay with all of that as long as it was like safe sex.
Sure.
Yeah. But
I think that would be a prerequisite.
Yeah, I think it would be a prerequisite too. But
can you get a sexually transmitted disease from a robot?
Maybe an AI one. No idea. I don't think you can.
Because that sounds like.
But you can get an STD, because if someone fucked it before you, and then they fuck it now, and you're the one fucking it now, you could get an STD if it hasn't been cleaned.
Oh, okay. But I guess it's easier to clean a robot than a person.
It is. It's much easier. You can just put some vodka on that.
They could make self-cleaning robots.
Yeah, they could.
I didn't expect to go down this path today. Put some vodka on it.
Put some vodka on it and just clean it up.
2 for 1. So it's like a martini then sex?
Yes.
Okay.
See? You're thinking, Jen.
Thank you.
But I think,
it has to be gin for Matt. It's not a martini unless it's gin.
Thank you for
But I think, like, why not try something once? You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you want to do. It's your show.
Yeah. That's just the answer I get every show now. That's the answer I get every single show.
We're very open. You know the rules here. There's almost none.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. Now, my last question for the future is, do you think humans will be alive in 20 years by the year 2045?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How come?
I have no indication to think that all the human race will be gone by then.
Really?
Yes.
Matty, what do you think?
You seem so surprised that she would think that.
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I would point out that Jen has 2 children who will be very much alive in 20 years. And
I'm hoping.
I mean, yes. Well, I meant by their age. They're not going to.
So I have a 23-year-old and an almost 27-year-old. I don't see a world where everything's gone I may be dead, but I can't imagine that all humans will be dead by then.
Interesting. What do you think, Matty?
I think there's very little scenario, even in my worst case scenario, and I, believe me, have plenty of worst case scenarios.
I'm sure you do.
I don't see no humans left on the planet in 20 years. Of course, we could be wrong, but there's no scenario. And that includes nuclear war, global thermonuclear war. It doesn't kill everybody on the planet. It's like, if you're saying within 20 years, could there be some kind of mass extinction event that would kill a large percentage of people? Maybe. I mean, that I could maybe get behind, but that there'd be nobody left, even in the worst climate change scenarios, which are pretty dire, 20 years out, Miami may be underwater or New York may be under a lot of water, but not full human extinction sounds unlikely.
I think there's a really good chance of full human extinction. Like the dinosaurs, when they started smoking and then they died from smoking. I'm just kidding. That's a cartoon. I was just joking around. But like the dinosaurs with the meteor, right?
So you think it'll be what is your scenario for this extinction event?
I think it could be a couple things. I think it could be nuclear war, 100%. Or I think it could be a meteor coming down to Earth. Or I think it could be something where it's just a lot of natural disasters at once because of climate change. But I think that in 20 years, we're going to be talking about in 20 years, if we are alive, these were the good days.
Life is going to look very different in 20 years.
Yeah.
That's where I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree. And there could be all sorts of things, disease or, like going to your scenario of nuclear war. It's just that as horrific as that is, the chances of it killing every single person on the planet is extremely small. Like even in
Planet of the Apes.
It just
Well, exactly.
Did you ever see the movie Omega Man? I recommend it.
No, I've seen Planet of the Apes, though.
See Omega Man.
Okay. Because I just think, I don't know, I think we're unfortunately going to be talking about, oh my gosh, remember when we didn't wear gas masks? Remember when we were able to shop freely and the electricity, Craig and I talk about this all the time, like the electricity, now you could have electricity anytime you wanted. Like I think that's what we're going to turn into. This episode turned out to be much more serious than I meant it to be.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
That is too serious for you?
Yeah. it's too serious. I thought it was going to be much funnier. But that's okay.
Well, you're talking about no humans existing in 20 years.
It's nice and light.
That was not like your sweet and sour. I'm just like...
Let me tell you, I've been in a dark mood, and now I'm fine, but I was in a very dark mood when I was making up these questions, and I think they were reflected.
Well, no, I
scripting.
should say I have no problem with that question, but I think it would be weird to have that question and then think that suddenly the show got darker than you thought it would be.
Yeah, that's true. I think I was just in a mood. Hold on, guys.
Anytime.
In a Jen Hammoud.
Oh, good one.
You like that? Okay. I think we're going to have to do a lot of editing on this show.
Well, you are going to
Yeah,
have to do a lot of editing on this show.
The royal we.
Hold on one second. I just have to see I look cute, people. I will edit this out of the video and everything. Okay. Everything looks fine. The hair still looks fine?
Yep.
Okay.
You threw me for a loop there. I never would have pegged you for someone thinking the world would end in 20 years.
I'm with him. I never.
Really?
I mean, everyone
Never.
would expect that coming from me. But,
Exactly.
But even I don't think
Wah,
that.
wah.
But I mean, I don't even think that.
I know. That was surprising, Jennifer.
Yeah, we may have to edit that one.
I'm good with it.
that
No,
out.
go for it. Go for total,
I mean, that people are getting to know you, right? That's part of getting to know you.
I guess. Can you see this
The
microphone?
more you know.
I
can't see the microphone.
can't see the
There's nothing
microphone.
wrong with seeing the microphone. People are used to seeing mics. on
They are
people.
used to seeing mics, but I don't like to be double mic'd like that.
All right.
So, can you see the
No.
microphone?
Nope.
Okay, cool. You can or you cannot?
I cannot see the
Okay,
microphone.
cool. So we are moving on to let's play a game of Marry FK. Now we have to say Marry FK now because when I do clips for Reels and all of that, it's a bitch to edit everything out. So now we have to say Marry FK,
Okay.
right? Because Instagram doesn't like the F because I'm a small creator, and the K, they really don't like that. So I have
Okay.
to take that all out. Okay, so Marry FK, you ready for your future game of Marry FK?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So option number 1, the Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Number 2, Princess Leia of Star Wars, played by the late Carrie Fisher. And number 3, Darth Vader in Star Wars, voiced by the late James Earl Jones.
Oh my God.
This is your Marry FK. And now, if you swing the other way, you just have to pretend. Like, you have to pretend that with the James Earl Jones and all of that kind of stuff. So you have to put yourself in different shoes, and we'll put ourselves in different shoes. So who wants to go first?
Wait, I don't know the role. I didn't see the Terminator. So what's Arnold Schwarzenegger's role in that?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's a futuristic, what would you say, robot?
Is he a good robot?
No, he comes back and he kills everyone.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not good. Wait, so it's Darth Vader and
Princess
the Terminator,
Leia.
and so we have 2 bad guys and a good guy. All right.
You can think
top
of Darth
one.
Vader as good or bad. He's complex.
He's not. Okay, fine. Why?
He's complex.
I mean, good or bad. That seems a little strange.
But he's complex.
Okay.
He's complex.
All right. Easy peasy.
Got a good voice.
Okay, so I would marry Princess Leia. I would F Darth Vader. And I would K the Terminator.
Okay, why F Darth Vader?
Why not? With that death grip?
Do you like the complex? Do you like complexity in your men?
Based on who I had chosen, the person that I had married, yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so Jen likes a little complexity and a little evil in her men.
Apparently.
Okay, I kind of like
actually,
that.
so the story is that Darth Vader really he was a good person. He was Anakin. And then he went over to the dark side. I watched them all.
Yeah. So I understand the whole thing of why you're doing that.
Yes.
That's good. Now, the Princess Leia one I'm fascinated about. So would you be willing to have sex with her if you're married?
I thought you said that even if I didn't swing that way, I was able to play this game in this way.
Okay. Never mind. You don't have to have sex with Princess Leia. It's okay.
Because some people just get married because, she's a badass.
Yeah.
She's really smart.
Yeah.
And I think she would be, and she's a good planner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think she would be a good spouse.
Jen, those were really good choices today.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, Matty, let's go.
Okay, no, actually, this became easier when I thought about it. Obviously, I have to kill the Terminator because he's come to the future to kill, and, it makes sense to kill him first.
Okay.
The others are a little more complicated, but I'm going to go with marrying Darth Vader
Okay.
and effing Princess Leia. Basically, that could be flipped over, but I don't think I could deal with the F of Darth Vader, so that's why I had to do that. It was kind of like it really had to be those choices.
When you F Princess Leia, are you going to be wearing your locksmith hat?
I could, yes.
Because that is a great hat to wear for effing.
I'm glad you like it. I think I debuted it in one of your videos.
Yes, and you did. And I didn't do the whole video for that one, which made me sad because I love that hat so much. You have to wear it again. I'm being dead serious.
No, but it's like a knit cap.
I know.
It's like 200 degrees.
I know. When you're going into the... You know what I just thought about? Let's fast forward to 2025 for a second.
Well, you mean we
No,
are.
let's fast forward to let's fast forward to 2045 for a second.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if we're still sitting here doing the Rhinebeck Scoop? Like, how badly would our lives have gone if we're still doing that?
Or how good have our lives? Because we enjoy this, we enjoy each other's company, and we're alive.
That's good.
That's better than the other scenarios we had earlier.
That is so true.
That would be incredible if you had a radio show go that long.
True.
It's happened.
Which one? One of yours?
No, obviously not one of ours, but in the history of radio, there's shows that long.
So you could be stuck with me for 20 years. How do you feel about that?
But by then we'll buy a building and we'll have expanded dramatically, and
We don't have to be in this tiny room.
we don't have to be inside the room. There'll be air conditioning.
I'll send my AI robot to do everything so you don't have to deal with me.
I like that idea.
Okay, my choices. All right, my choice. So we have again, I can't even remember the choices. Who was the first person? The Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Princess Leia, and Darth Vader. Okay, so I would marry Darth Vader because I like a man who's a little mysterious and can wear a mask in bed. And I like how he kind of went from good to evil and then right back to good. And I just think he would be great for, like, if society were to fall, he's going to defend you. He's your man. So I kind of like him. So I'd marry him. I would 100% F the Terminator because if you watch the Terminator, you see Arnold Schwarzenegger's dick. Do you guys know that?
No.
You see it. It's out there. I paused it. I rewinded it. I watched it at least 3 times, and it is not small. So I would say absolutely effing the Terminator. 100%.
Okay.
Okay. And then I would K Princess Leia, unfortunately.
I'm so disappointed in your choice.
Because I just think she's the least interesting of the 3.
But every team needs an organizer.
How did she organize? I'm trying to think of the movies. How was she an organizer? What did she do?
She was the one with the plan. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. And put it in R2-D2. And if she hadn't done that, then the team wouldn't have gotten together.
She's got a valid point there.
Yeah, I still like my complex men, and I still like the big ding dong. So I'm going for that. I want to talk about my sour of the moment. All right. So Craig and I, we're driving home. It's night. And in our front yard, there's paper towels. And I'm like, oh, this is really weird. There's paper towels in our front yard, not thinking anything of it. And Craig's like, I bet you someone took a shit in our front yard. And I was like, no, like, why would you even go there? Like, why would you even think of that? Right?
Yes, why?
Yes, why? Exactly. Because probably someone's done it before. So he's like, no, that's what people do. They like take a shit and then they wipe themselves and then they leave all the paper towels. I'm like, listen, I have definitely taken a dump in some really weird places like cornfields and stuff, but I have never done anything like that. So anyway, he gets out of the car, he checks it out. Someone took the nastiest dump in our front yard. Okay, and then left all the paper towels of where they wiped themselves.
This speaks to Craig's ability to know something I would not have guessed.
I wouldn't have guessed it either.
So,
but how gross is that?
Don't you live like in a remote place? Like this isn't like in a village.
So do you think they just pulled over in their car and like, I got to poop?
They 100% did because I saw it the next morning. It was shown to me the next morning, and they 100% like.
When you say you saw it like in a video, what do you mean?
No.
No, it was AI.
I saw the remnants of it.
Oh, I just
because Craig did not clean the remnants. If you know what I'm saying,
well,
I'm trying to be nice if anyone's eating.
Is it? I thought like it's the woods or wouldn't rain eventually do something or you're.
Yes, it will eventually do something, but isn't that disgusting?
Wait, so somebody would go out of their way, pull off wherever, go down some mysterious road, get out, poop, get back in their car, and then drive away?
Yes, because apparently the person must have like IBD or something.
Oh, well yeah, but why are they on your road?
Crohn's. I know, I do. I respect that.
I don't even want to tell you some of the stuff that I've done.
No, I know, me too. But here's the thing, is like, don't do it on my fucking front lawn. Like, there's woods around. There's everything around. Why did you choose the front lawn?
Don't know.
So, and leave all your paper towels. So odd. I just want to say to the fucker who did this in Rhinebeck, you better not do it again because I'm putting up video. Thank you very much. Okay. So I have, you guys, 4 sweets of the moment. 4.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So, Matty, I have a compliment for you. One of my sweets. And that is, I used to hate these microphones. And now I actually like them because I realize I think the tone of my voice does not do well head on with these microphones. I think I just have a loud voice or something. Mm-hmm. So when I put it to the side, it actually sounds much better.
Excellent.
So I just want to say thank you for the microphones. You did a really good job. Even though I thought you did a shit job at first, I can say you've now done a great job.
They're well-regarded microphones.
Okay, number 2, I am picking up today. Oh my gosh, I hope I have the time. I'm picking up today. What time is it?
It's a few minutes after 4.
Oh yeah, okay, I have time. My new ring that I got from Adele Shafridi, which is right in town and does this incredible, beautiful, metaphysical jewelry. And I'm picking that up in probably about 20, 30 minutes. So I'm very excited for my new ring. It's so cool. It's really gothic looking and it's something very unusual. So I'll show it to you next time. And then number 3, Matty, I have to give you props again.
Wow, I like this episode a lot.
I have to give you props again. And that is Matty finally showed me the downloads.
Oh.
And I saw downloads of one episode, I think it was. And you guys, I always thought there was literally like 6 listeners, maybe 7. Mm-hmm. We have hundreds of listeners.
Yeah, there's no doubt. People have come up to me.
Hundreds of listeners. So, yay!
And you're growing.
And I'm growing.
The chart goes up instead of like the stock market is now.
So I can't wait till we get to thousands of listeners. I'm so, honored that you listen to this show. I think it's a really big waste of your time. But besides that, I'm joking. You guys laugh. You guys are so serious today.
I feel like we're kind of just serious.
This reminds me of the episode, the Thanksgiving Friendsgiving episode where everyone came in and was so serious. Oh. It's the same thing. So anyway, I'm just kidding, you guys. When I joked about the tea and said tea was for losers, I was kidding about that too because I got DMs on that.
How do you feel about atoms again?
We don't talk about that. Oh, Adams had the supermarket sweep. Did you see that?
No.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
I
talking
think I saw it on a newspaper that you go in and you do, it's a game show.
Okay.
And they did it in January. I wasn't there. But I will say something. I did find out. I know someone who works right across the street from Adams and says there are police there once a week because there are so many car accidents in that parking lot.
That is true. My car has been hit 3 times.
No.
Yeah, so I park. I know where to park now.
Holy, see, this is what I'm saying.
Things I don't know because I don't drive.
Let me
Exactly.
I want to ask you this. Does your wife drive?
No, we don't drive.
You both don't drive?
Well, she has a driver's license, but we don't drive.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It's special.
It's very special. So, like, when you went to Fancies, how did you get to Fancies?
We friends who go places, and we go with them.
Oh, so you're moochers.
I don't think they feel that way because I help people a lot with their everything.
Okay.
So
Okay.
It's a barter system.
It's a
barter
mooching
system.
barter system. Wow.
It's a reciprocal.
I thought your wife drove.
No.
Oh, we don't have a car. Cars are evil.
So when they travel back and forth from New York with the cat, they're on the train.
No way.
Yes.
And is she just hissing at all the commuters?
No, but last night she meowed a lot. Unfortunately, Hester has
Mental problems?
no. She's the smartest, best cat in the history of the world.
I'm sure.
But she is old,
Aw.
and she has developed kidney disease.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So we are dealing with that.
Okay, I'm really sorry to hear that. But anyway, on to my fourth sweet of the moment, and that is, you guys, in one of my podcasts, in the corporate flight attendant one, I had a kind of a pop culture segment I would do. And then I ended that podcast. And now I realize I really miss it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be adding a pop culture segment of my thoughts on a topic of pop culture to this radio show.
I love it.
How do you feel? Matty loves it. Great. I am obsessed, and we'll get into this another time, but I am obsessed with my new love of my life is the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively feud. I cannot get enough of that shit. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I take back that I said I love it.
Wait, is that movie where
Yeah, the end-
he
the end of
supposedly
it.
Yeah,
wasn't?
I heard about that, but I don't know.
It ends with us. That's what it is. It ends
Oh,
with us.
right,
I
I
tried
heard
to
about
watch
this.
5 minutes of it. I couldn't do it. But anyway, it's such a good nuanced thing. So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be talking about...
We're talking about that in particular, that obsession.
We're going to be talking about that as one of my topics of pop culture.
Got it.
But I have other ones like Meghan Markle, making fun of her, things like that. So
Okay.
I did this on the corporate flight attendant. Everyone really liked it, so we're going to do it here. Okay, we are looking for sponsors for the Rhinebeck Scoop. If you're a local business who would like to inquire about sponsoring this show, reach out to Matty or Jen at comments@radiofreerhinecliff.org. And I promise you, I'm going to make your shit amazing. It's going to be really interesting. Everyone is going to want to go to your restaurant, shop at your place. You are going to be the destination if you pick us to sponsor your show.
Shouldn't we just if someone sponsors, we should all go to the restaurant, but all 3 of us?
Oh yeah, that's a great
That would be
idea.
good. We should do a show from the restaurant.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
We have all the lavalier mics ready for that.
Okay, and we can do it like almost we did at the farmer's market where we
Yes.
had that. Yeah.
We have that, but also we have mics for each person.
Oh, okay. So I don't scream into everything like I was doing at the farmer's market. My little rhinos, remember to shop right here at the Epicurean for all your upscale grocery and gift-giving needs. You can leave me a voicemail at 845-307-7446. By the way, no one has left me a voicemail in quite some time, and it makes me sad. Probably because the last person who did it, I kind of ranted on them. But I won't rant on you. I'll be nice. I promise this time. And I didn't mention who it was. I kept it quiet. Or email me at comments@radiofreerhinecliff.org and follow me at Free Spirit Jennifer C to see my question for next episode. The next episode will drop on, I have the wrong date. Shoot.
Oh.
What's 2 weeks from, okay, so Tuesday, April 8th is when this episode is right now. Plus 14 is 21, right?
Jen is
22.
Jen is the keeper of the
22.
calendar.
In terms of Tuesday, it's the 22nd.
Okay, so the next episode will drop on Tuesday, April 22nd. Until then, my little rhinos, happy Passover and happy Easter. Love you, RBK.
Yeah.